G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5 a.m. Club. As you can see, I'm on the train heading from from Wynyard Station to Circular Quay. So what we'll do today is we'll go through another book summary, and the book summary that we're going to go through today is entitled Safe People. Safe People by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. An interesting book which I guess is all about managing relationships and provides a guidance in terms of identifying toxic elements in our social circles and removing and avoiding them. So this book kicks off with a quote where the authors help position their observations, and they say something which is quite interesting. They say that we change our behaviour when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. An interesting concept indeed. So the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. So it's all about consequences, and these consequences give us the pain that eventually motivates us to do the things that we need to do. So here we are, we're just getting off at Circular Quay. Where else in the world can you get off a train and be presented with this absolute masterpiece? This masterpiece called Circular Quay, this masterpiece called Sydney, on this wonderful, beautiful spring morning. So as you can see, it's a beautiful, glorious day. The jacarandas are in full bloom, with those lilac hues just starting to glow, and it can only get better. You can see the sun has risen, and a great start to the day. So let's continue along our way with this book, Safe People, and see where it can lead us. So the authors make the point, and a lot of public speakers, motivational speakers, make the same point. Because we all end up being the average of the half dozen people that we spend most time with, it makes a lot of good sense that we be selective. We be selective and discerning with who we include in our social circle and who we choose to spend most time with. The author then kicks off with 3 formal points, and the first one is that unsafe people can be categorised, can be itemised by a few features, key features. So the first key feature to be able to identify an unsafe person is a descriptor called the abandoners. And these are the people that you come across in your life who are really nice, really cordial, really enthusiastic when you meet them, but you hardly ever see them afterwards. They're the commitment phobes, the ones who never follow up. And they're especially bad in romantic relationships. The author suggests here, saying that when they finally realise that perfection in the relationship or perfection in your personhood is unattainable, they just get up and leave. And they're very cold-hearted, very calculated sort of people. And they are unsafe people to have around, or to include in your social circle is one of the points. The other type of person to be aware of and to be wary of, according to these authors, are the critics. The people who spend all of their time, most of their time, whinging and whining and judging rather than helping others. Because these people here lack compassion, they lack empathy, and they're going to, I guess, be wiring you and themselves up for continual pain because of their worldview and the way they conduct themselves. And the third sort of person, and it all just makes sense, all of this sort of stuff is just common sense. The third sort of person to shy away from and not to spend too much time entertaining is the irresponsible person. Because you can't count on them, you can't depend on them, and they're forever going to be coming up with excuses and disappointing you for various reasons. And I guess with COVID-19, the past 18 months have shown us that there is a small group of irresponsible people known as anti-vaxxers or freedom fighters, or the way they describe themselves just varies. But these people have proven with their disinformation and their misinformation that they spread, that they can cause havoc and they can cause a lot of pain and suffering to those around them. So it's important to be careful and to push them aside, because they will put your happiness and your wholesomeness at great risk. So what I'll do is I'll just hop on the train now because I'm running a little bit late. So I'll say farewell to Circular Quay, but I'll keep the vlog going. This goes to airport. So we'll continue chatting away. So the other point that the author makes, which is really interesting, is that past traumas can negatively impact our personality, which can actually impact and make us unsafe people as well. So one thing is to identify unsafe people outside and within our social circles. The other thing is to also be able to identify and work on the concept of whether or not we ourselves are unsafe people to other people in our families and in our social circles. So what the author says here is that past trauma can mess us up at a deep level. So it's at a deeper level which is harder to work on and to identify. But I'll just go and sit down now. So as we see Circular Quay just disappear into a tunnel, but what a beautiful public space, what a beautiful city we have. Absolutely magnificent. So where are we up to? So the sort of things that we can be on guard with and try and identify in ourselves is that there are a number of little elements that may have happened in the past and may have shaped our personalities, but which bring us pain and suffering. The first one is envy. If you're envious, if you're jealous, it's not a good characteristic to have and to harbour, because it robs us of the ability to receive love. It's important to be able to give love and to receive love. And what the author says here is that envy is a sort of thing that robs us of the ability to receive love. The second point that we need to try and rid ourselves of as well is the idea or the concept of self-sufficiency, being too independent, thinking that we can't rely on someone else, because what it does is it denies us connection to other people. And you know, this can come about when you've been let down time and time again by your parents, your friends, your family, your siblings, your work peers, and you decide to to be and connect with others around us. So if you're feeling entitled that you deserve everything you get, or you're more deserving than others around you, as we said, that can break and disconnect us from those around us. Anyway, I'm having a few problems with the connection here in the tunnel, but I'll just continue. So I may drop out at some point, but thanks for joining me. And the last point that the author talks about here is that our relationships define our health levels, because our social circles are critical for our physical, spiritual and emotional health. And we need to have, and it just makes common sense, but sometimes you need to state the obvious to some people. We all need to have an active social life because it is critical. Just like bad people are bad for our health, good people help us live longer and a more purposeful and meaningful life. So in order to do this, we need to rid ourselves of the fear of rejection and to try and stay connected, be connected with good people who, once again, as we said, will help us grow, develop, and become better versions of ourselves and allow us to live a healthy life, a life which is wealthy in terms of engagement. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club. We didn't get a lot of time to spend at Circular Quay, but as I said, I'm running a little bit late this morning. But I thought it was a good idea to pump out a 5am Club so that we can connect with each other, so we can be partners in each other's growth and development, and that we can continue clicking over the number of vlogs that we put out and the engagement that we have with each other. It's important to stay connected and to be part of an evolving network on a daily basis where possible. So I look forward to chatting to you again from a different place with a different message of empowerment. And until then, yasas, take care, have a great Tuesday, and keep on cranking. Bye for now.